Time is running out. Less than 4 days until the deadline to pass the state budget. And it's a deadline some top Ohio lawmakers have said they will likely miss. But now they could be changing their tunes. Thanks for staying with us at 5:30. I'm Jennifer Bullock. I'm Jared Smalley. NBC4 Statehouse reporter Natalie Fahmy joins us now live. And Natalie, what has changed since last week?
Well, Jared, Jennifer, lawmakers say they've been hard at work negotiating billions of dollars in allocations for those funds. But today, the House was poised to pass a bill to give them a 7-day extension so they could default on their deadline. That's this Friday. But Speaker of the House decided to table that legislation last minute.
We are making good progress.
Speaker of the House Jason Stephens changing his tone after he was sure the June 30th budget deadline would come and go with no bill on the governor's desk.
Hope you don't have too many plans in July.
The budget spends $94 billion with billions of one-time and American Rescue Plan funding, giving this budget a historic price tag. But the Senate and House passed versions with 883 differences in areas like tax cuts, school funding, and money for programs to assist low-income families.
That's a lot of different items, so it's just a volume of work.
So representatives folded a 7-day extension into a bill that has to do with military spouses, something some lawmakers petitioned against. Still, the House was set to take a vote on that measure Tuesday, but Speaker Stephens tabled the measure for now.
I think it's a positive sign, and I think that we'll see.
Senate President Matt Huffman has remained confident that the budget will pass on time. A spokesperson for the Senate Republicans saying they remain committed to good faith negotiations.
We understand that we're not going to get to 50 votes in the House without doing some of the things that the House wants to do, and I'm sure that the Speaker and his team understand the same.
But with a long list of differences, middle ground needs to be found. I asked Stephens what some of those items are.
From a matter of tax cuts to a matter of this policy or that policy.
Changes, I think, when it comes to the school funding formula, there were different things. The way it came from the House was much more workable.
Stephens says they are ready to pass the extension if needed within these next few days, but tells Ohioans not to worry if they pass the deadline.
The government is not going to shut down. There is not going to be a major crisis from a financial standpoint for the state of Ohio.
Governor Mike DeWine encourages lawmakers to keep working and says he has full confidence they can get the budget passed by that deadline. Again, that's this Friday at midnight. Local 3 at the Statehouse, I'm Natalie Fahmy, NBC4.